Hi library friends, this is Miss Lian from the Huntley Area Public Library. We're back with another fun craft video. Today we're going to be making dream catchers. So let's get into the video. For today's craft, you're going to need a paper plate. So I grabbed the small one. I think the small one's best and easier to make the dream catcher with. If you have the medium or large one, that's okay. You just are going to make a larger scale dream catcher. So small paper plate, a pair of scissors, some feathers for decoration, stickers for decoration, beads, whatever you have at your house that you want to decorate with. And then of course, most importantly, you're going to need some yarn or string. So I have this really pretty glittery blue yarn, so I'm going to use that today. And then last of all, you're going to need a hole puncher. So first, let's grab our paper plates. Now this is the very tricky part of it. You're going to fold your paper plate in half and cut it very carefully. So if you have an adult, go grab them and ask them for help. So what you want to do is cut the inside of the paper plate out. So be very careful, like I said. If you need help, go grab an adult. But this is probably the trickiest part of the craft. Once we get through this part, it's easy breeze. And don't worry about how messy it looks. You won't even see it. You see, it's a little bit messy, but it's okay. So now if you have a white paper plate and you want to paint it a different color, this would be the perfect time to do it. But if you have a paper plate that's the color that you want, you're just going to leave it as it is, which is what I'm going to do. Then we're going to grab our hole puncher. And you're going to hole punch the lip of the plate. So wherever you want to hole punch it, wherever it's easiest, you just don't want to get too close to the edges, okay? So I'm going to actually, let's see how to do this. There we go. So you can have multiple ones close together. It's kind of however you want it. Now if you make too many holes, that's okay too. But I would probably recommend just making a few. Now, as I mentioned before, if you make too many holes, you can use those holes and then tie a string inside of it and just dangle like a feather or something, which I will show you. You can see that this is a little broken, so I'm going to have to pair that up. So if you have a piece of tape, grab grab some tape if you need to repair your paper plate. You will need the tape for the yarn just to make the weaving part easier. So I'm just gonna plop the tape right on top. No fuss, no muss. Alright, now that you have your holes on your paper plate, you're gonna grab that extra piece of tape and you're just gonna wrap it around your yarn like so. Now if you don't want to do this part and you're okay weaving your yarn through, that's okay too. And I'm going to keep my yarn on the ball to make it easier. You're going to cut it at the end. Alright, so you're going to start your weaving. You're going to start at either the top or the bottom. And pull that through maybe like an arm length. And then go across somewhere. It doesn't matter which way you weave it through, in or out. And then go across again. So you're just gonna, what I'm doing is I'm weaving it inside the plate to the outside of the plate. Then go across. Oops. So this is the part where you get to do whatever you want. So just keep weaving it. So you're gonna weave it. First, it's gonna look kind of weird weaving it through, but then you're gonna get to see what it'll look like. So it's gonna start looking like kind of like a spider web. So that's what you want. Now I'm just weaving it through some random holes that I made. So it doesn't have to be in any certain way. Just do it however you want to, honestly. And then if you end up like me, you don't have enough string to weave however more you want to, you're just gonna pull on the ball of yarn, which is why I said don't cut the yarn, because sometimes we don't think we need enough, then we do. So I'm just gonna pull it through and then pull the end very carefully. Or if you can try to figure out your web, you can just pull it through each string, which I think is probably the easier bet, so you don't break your paper plate. And then let's see, where did I go? Here. And then I went here. and then one here. If you overestimate your yarn length, that'll be a lot easier, so you don't have to do what I'm doing and pull through all of your yarn. But you do want to make sure your yarns are pretty tight. So when you're pulling it through, make sure you're pulling it really nice and tight. And then, oops, I almost pulled it through that hole. There we go. Now I have some extra string to mess around with. All right. So remember, if you're pulling the string through, make sure you pull every string tight at the end of it. All right, so let's see, where are we going next? I think we're gonna go all the way over here. I think I might do only a couple more. I'll do it up here. And then one last time, we'll go through this last one. I think it was this one, right? Yeah. I don't even remember where I want to go sometimes. So you're going to pull it through, just like so. Now I remember where I wanted to go. Go through here, that's what I wanted. And then go across, gonna bring that over and through here for the last, oh, let's see, do I want that the last one? No. We'll have the last one be right here. Alright, so just like that. And we're done with the second to trickiest part. So now what you want to do is tie your string. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a regular knot and hold it all the way to the bottom. Just like that. And then we're gonna tie it. You're gonna tie it to the closest, the closest string that's right next to that hole. So, gonna tie it right here. because that's the closest one. It is a little tricky. So how I tie it is I put the thing through the string, but you can tie it however you want to. I'm just tying it to make sure that it's secured. And then I'll tie it again. Hopefully you won't be pulling on the strings that much, so all you have to do is like tie 2 knots and that's it, and it should hold. And then you're just gonna snip it just like that, and then do the same thing to the other side. So I'm actually gonna pull it through the other way so that the string is on the other side of the hole. And then again, tie it to the closest one. So here, this is what I do. I'll zoom in. Okay. So I'm grabbing the one that's the closest. I put my fingers underneath it and then pull the string underneath that. So the string that's I'm tying off is right underneath there. And then you're going to pull that, kind of twist it. And then twist it again. And then you're gonna pull. So now it's just kind of twisted around that string. Now you're gonna wrap it around your fingers. And pull the knot through. So you wrap it around your fingers, make a hole. Sorry, I'm looking at the viewfinder. It's a little tricky to look at the viewfinder so that I know you guys can see. So wrap it around your fingers so that you can create a little space. Pull it front and then kind of slip it behind it, just like that. And then what I do is I hold the loop at the bottom just so that I know it's gonna stay there. So I hold the loop in between my 2 fingernails or fingers, whatever you want. And then snip. And there you go. Now I'm gonna take this extra piece of string and we're gonna make that the hanger. So I'm gonna wrap that around. Now this one you're just gonna tie it normally. Double knot it. Now I'm gonna try and pull that extra string to the back side so you don't see it, and you cut it off. Then that's where you're gonna hang your. Let me zoom out. That's gonna be where you hang your dream catcher from. And now I'm gonna go to the hole on the opposite side, so these 2, and I'm gonna hang some short pieces of yarn on them. So, got some string. Whoops. Cut it. Now I'm gonna cut the string 3 times So I want the first one to be a little shorter, the second one to be a little longer, and then the third one to be longer. Then I have a fourth string just in case I want another one. So I'm going to pick this hole. You're going to tie it how you were tying it before. Now, I forgot to bring beads, which are the prettier part. Flip it over so that the knot doesn't show on the front. Try to tie it one more time. I made the little tail a little too short. Okay, so that's going to be our one dangling one. Grab my second piece. Where do I want to put it? I think that might be a little bit too long. Snip it a little bit. And then I'm going to put the third one through the hole that's already got a string through it, which is okay. Alright, I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter. And now we have our 3 strings hanging off of our dream catcher. Now you can tie feathers, beads, and whatever you want. Decorate it. Actually, I might make them a little bit around the same height. Yeah, it looks better if you make them all kind of the same height. Or else you just have one really awkward dangling one, which is not what you want. Alright, so grab your feather. Now I'm just going to do one feather in the middle. Now tying the feather is probably just going to be however the feather will stay on. You can tape it to the string if you want to try that, but I'm not exactly sure how I want to do this. There we go. I got the feather on. Now, what I'm gonna do, I don't know. I'm gonna put feathers on the other two and I'll be right back. So I just really lightly tied it on. I know, don't pull on the feather or else it'll fall off for sure. But that's the way I found easiest to tie on the feather. So I got a blue one. Wrap it around. Untie it. It's literally all I did. Thanks for making dream catchers with me today. Make sure you log on to huntleylibrary.org for all the digital content and online resources you have available with your Huntley library card. And don't forget to check out the Huntley's YouTube channel for more fun crafts and stories. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!